everyone, and thanks for joining me. I figured I would jump on today and talk a little bit about some of the spicy fall fragrances that I'm looking forward to wearing this fall. Some of them are inspired by, some of them are unique on their own, but here are a couple that I'm really getting excited about wearing. I'm sure I'll be adding to the list, obviously, as you know, the days go on, but here are 5 that just stood out to me right off the bat. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Coming in at my number 1, this is a fragrance I really, really, really enjoy. I think it's a lovely, beautiful day scent. It just really, really, really just works well with my chemistry. And I just think it's like, I'm a vanilla girl and it combines this vanilla patchouli. This, as you may or may not know, is supposed to be a direct dupe, inspiration, whatever you want to call it, of KLE's vanilla patchouli. And this here is December Vanilla by Paris Corner. I picked this up, I think on their site it was roughly maybe it was like $34 or not. As you know, the KLE I think is like $138 at this point. So on the back of this fragrance, it tells you that the top notes are rum, vanilla orchid, jasmine with heart notes of vanilla, spice notes, leather, tonka bean, and rose creme brulee. And the base notes are brown sugar, amber oud, patchouli, sugar, and musk. Now, to me, I definitely get the patchouli. I definitely get the vanilla. I like a patchouli. A lot of people don't. It smells funky on their skin. It doesn't work with their chemistry. That being said, I think even if you are not a patchouli person per se, this fragrance has a lot of potential because it is not a patchouli bomb. It doesn't smell like you walked into, let's say, I hate to use this as an example because I love the store, but like a Lush fragrance store where you're kind of hit with like a earthy patchouli bomb, or, you know, back in the day, one of those shops, you know, in the West Village where, you know, they sold glass pieceware and, you know, other sorted items for the Grateful Dead, patches, whatnot. It does not smell like that. What it smells to me like is just a very soft, nuanced, almost a Chanel-like patchouli, which is very sophisticated. It's not your hippies patchouli, if you will, and I think it's quite beautiful. I think it's very wearable as a day scent. It's wearable as an evening scent. It's definitely very unique. You're not going to smell a ton of people walking around with it. And for those reasons alone, I think it's a great fall scent that I'm definitively looking forward to wearing in the near future. So that, my friends, is number 1. Coming in at number 2, also is a really unique fragrance. Not unique in the sense that like I haven't seen anything else like it around. Unique in the sense that when I first received it, I was wholly disappointed. Like I was like, this is a joke. First of all, and the fragrance I'm talking about, guys, is Lattafa's Fire on Ice. So this, as some of you may or may not know, is supposedly an inspiration or a dupe of Killian's Angel Share Paradise. So it's like a flanker of the OG Angel Share. So as you can see, when I'm missing a lot of juice. When I first received this perfume, I thought it was a joke because I was like, oh, already they took the Angel Share. This did not come full. It did not come full. It came with a crack here. There was like erosion already on the sprayer. Not erosion, I don't know, like whatever it is when the enamel of it comes off, the finish comes off. I was really disappointed. I'm like, oh, this kind of sucks. What I did think was cool was like the ice cube in the box, which is kind of like it gives the feel of Scotch on the rocks. And I was like, this fragrance is like meth. Like I've smelled it before. Like if you smelled Camera Duca, like any of the Angel Share dupes out there, Kismet Magic, any of those fragrances, you've kind of smelled them all. Like, some of them are better, some of them are worse. They all are within a range of, longevity, what you're looking for, strength, etc. So my initial response was like, I don't really know. I'm gonna give this to my 9-year-old. He is always begging me for a fragrance. He likes to dude himself up before school, and sometimes Axe Phoenix or Axe Apollo just doesn't cut it for him. So I was like, you know what? How about this? You can try this, get back to me on it, and then we will go from there. Tell mama what you think. So he used it a few times. I think it's a little too sophisticated for him. But that being said, I kind of like put it aside and really didn't think about it. And the other day when I was kind of coming together with like, gee, what kind of scents am I really thinking about for the fall? I was like, you know what? I have this sitting around. He uses it sometimes. Maybe my older son will use it. I don't know, but like, let me give it a go again. So I sprayed it out again. And I have to say, over time, it really evolved into something wonderful. Like, am I going to say this is the best fragrance on the planet? No. But what I will say is if you like the DNA of an Angel Share, if you like that kind of vibe, this is a very, very, very nice day wear alternative for that. To me, this fragrance is very reminiscent of an apple cider, like a beautiful, beautiful mulled apple cider. It does not have this like heavy, overbearing, boozy quality that you would get from a camera or the like, which I love, by the way. Like, to me, that's an awesome fall evening, winter evening scent. I love it. I'm here for it. I wear it all the time in the winter. This to me is a very wearable day perfume. So if I wanted to, wear this to the office, I can easily do that without getting that heavy, like boozy, icky scent and like offending people around me. Also, as far as it being unisex, this is like very, very unisex. And I totally think like my husband or my boys would absolutely wear this no differently than I would or my daughter would. So I kind of really like it for that. Like, if you're not looking for too much depth in this fragrance, and really it's a $30-ish fragrance, and you are looking for something along the lines of that DNA. I knew Bath and Body Works came out with something like very similar to yet another dupe of Angel Share. This is like a great layering scent with a body lotion from that line. So highly, highly recommend. Didn't think I would recommend it because initially when I smelled it, I'm like, oh, this kind of sucks. But I like it. I'm not going to hate it, and I'm definitely going to give this more wear. So sorry, kids. It's coming back to mama. Okay. So let's see. For my number 3. Now this is an interesting one. For the longest time, I'll admit it, I'm a Swiftie. Don't love Taylor Swift, love her music. Like, catchy, poppy. The Life of a Showgirl has been like on a loop in my house lately. I'm a fan, I really am. Like, I give the girl credit. She's got talent. She's able to like knock out these hits left and right. And do I have to hang out with her personally? No, and I'm cool with that. Like, she's probably cool with that too. But that being said, for the longest time, I've been hearing that Taylor Swift's go-to fragrance, like her signature scent, is Tom Ford's Santal Blush. Now, for anyone who's sampled that, I will say the following. I have smelled it on a number of occasions. I've smelled dupes of it on a number of occasions. To me, I do like it. I think it has its own place in the perfume world. It is very oddly reminiscent to me of Estee Lauder's Youth Dew, or like a Cinnabar, which, like, let's be honest, was like my grandma's signature scent. So for that reason alone, I was like a little wary of like how this would wear on someone my age or younger. So I decided to get the sample, not the sample, the inspired by fragrance oil from Gold Star Fragrances. And initially, this is interesting. I have never once had a bad experience with any of their fragrances. Truth be told, like whatever I've ordered or received from them has really always been a very, very, very spot on dupe. This was the one fragrance I got where I was like, I don't know about this. I really don't know about this. I don't know if it's them. I don't know if it's me. I don't know what the story is here, because it smelled a little bit less like Santal Blush, and there was just like something strange about it. And then I said to myself, like, I remembered in the back of my head, like a lot of times when oils or fragrances are traveling through the mail, you know, especially when you're traveling to a hot climate, which I clearly live in, there could be some sort of period of time where they need to like adjust and they need to like kind of cool down and like settle in. So I decided to put it aside for a while because it was like, I got this in like the dead of summer and there was no way I was wearing that anytime soon anyway. So I put it aside, I let it like, as they say, macerate or whatever you want to call it, and lo and behold, popped it out about a week or two ago. And I was like, wow, this actually really smells nice. It really settled into itself, and you know, I had the chance to smell the actual one. It's both Sephora and at the Tom Ford store, and I was like, this is a pretty spot on dupe. But then I was like, you know what, there's something about it where most of the time I'm very happy with like wearing a perfume oil. Other times I kind of like want the scent to like spray out. I don't know if I want it to like just to catch my hair more or whatever the case is, or just to like envelop me more, and you don't always get that with a perfume oil. And with this specific one, it was very like to the skin. So I did some research, and lo and behold, I came up with what I think to be a really affordable, nearly spot on dupe, albeit a random one, of Tom Ford Santal Blush. And that, my friends, is Adam Levine's Perfume for Women. Now, there's something weird, and I attribute it to the Tom Ford fragrance, not to any of the dupes or otherwise, about it, where I find that the settle down, the dry down could be a little bit old lady-ish. I don't know. There's something about how it touches my skin where after a while I'm kind of like, I'm not really sure about it. And it could be, again, like my mind going to the place where like Youth Dew is my grandmother's signature scent, and there are definitely like very key similarities to it. And then I decided to go and look up what the notes were for Youth Dew. And interestingly enough, Youth Dew uses like Coca-Cola as one of its notes. And what I find here with the Adam Levine set, which makes it unique from the OG Santal Blush, is that it takes what's great about Santal Blush, which is really just like a very sexy, kind of like spicy, mysterious fragrance. And then it like amps it by, I think, playing up what appears to be like a Coca-Cola note ever so slightly more. So it really gives it like this more youthful quality about it. And like, let's be honest, like I think I paid $17 for this. Look at the color of the juice. Like whatever vanilla is going on here, like this stuff is beautiful. Like I have to say, for the price, I mean, the longevity is what it will be, but like I can spray refresh throughout the day, and like for that price point, you're not going to beat it. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than Tom Ford, and quite honestly, up against the two, really can't tell the difference, and honestly prefer this one better. So again, this is Adam Levine's Perfume for Women. I think you can get it at like, it's beautiful. Any discount perfume store or Amazon, they have it all over. And it's a beautiful fragrance. Sometimes these celeb fragrances, like the Britney Spears, the Sarah Jessica Parkers, you know, Jessica Simpsons, like much better than whatever they're trying to do. And I will say, like, when they do a celebrity fragrance, a lot of times these companies put a ton of money behind the R&D and the marketing to make sure that they're like a fragrance that people want. So they really invest in it, and they invest in whatever it is they're putting into the scents to amplify them. So, highly recommend that one. And on to the next. So, another one I absolutely love, and I cannot wait to wear this fall, is Collage's Islands Vanilla Dupes. Now, this is a beautiful, 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 spicy unisex fragrance for inspiration of Perfumes de Marly out there. In any event, that fragrance itself tends to lean far more masculine. When I first smelled it, I was like, honestly could never see myself actually using it. Really thought it was like more along the lines for my husband or, you know, my boys when they were older. Did not envision it to be a fragrance that I myself would be wearing. This one, however, is very spicy, very vanillic, is blended quite beautifully. I got this probably 6-7 months ago. Over time, I will see that, like, as it's had its opportunity to like macerate, the vanilla has definitely evolved, and it just worked itself and lent itself to be this very, very beautiful wearable fall and winter fragrance. It is unique on its own, does not really remind me of anything quite specific off the you know, the top of my head. But that being said, I think that it's a very unique scent, and it really takes a very, what would otherwise be a particularly more masculinely leaning scent. Sorry, that was such a tongue twister, I don't even know what happened. And femmes it up a bit and makes it more wearable for everyone. Not that a man couldn't wear this. Like, I think this is actually was marketed to men, even this one. But I think it makes it more unisex. Like, I think it makes it more something that I would absolutely feel comfortable wearing and not feel like I was being embraced by, you know, some sort of heavy cologne. So, huge fan. Again, that's Island Vanilla Dunes, sorry, and it's Codlage. And I think this probably retails, I think this is around $40. You can check me on that because these prices always fluctuate depending upon the seller, especially on Amazon. So, again, huge fan. Definitely looking forward for the fall. And guys, last but not least, I'm actually going to look up the notes on this because I don't remember off the top of my head. There were aspects of it that are definitively like apple sheesh, which is like gorgeous, and I believe there's some mint in it. And I'm just looking it up on Fragrantica because I want to give you like the full blow by blow. So this is a fragrance. It's called Mashrabaya by Lattafa. And its main accords are sweet, tobacco, cinnamon, caramel, warm, spicy, vanilla, and fruity. So the fruit, definitely smell that off the spot. So it's apple shisha accord, pink pepper, tobacco, cinnamon, and dates. And then you have some oud smoke, caramel, vanilla, and patchouli. And it is a beautiful fragrance. It is supposed to be inspired by or a dupe of Kilian's Smoking Hot, which is a unisex fragrance. That one to me, again, is one of those where I find it to be the OG slightly more masculine leaning. This one, however, is just, the first note that hits me is that apple. And it's just absolutely beautiful. Like, I am so excited to wear this for the fall. To me, this brings me back to like New York City, early 2000s. There used to be this like beautiful bar slash hookah lounge on the Lower East Side called Koosh. And they had these big nargilehs where you can, get flavored tobacco, and you'd walk in there and it was like, you just smell the tobacco in the air. That's back when people used to like smoke in bars and stuff, which was really gross in retrospect. But in any event, when I smell this immediately brings me back to that. It's just a beautiful, very, very sexy Middle Eastern hookah lounge vibe, and I'm here for it. I really, really love this one. Like, actually planning on wearing this probably Saturday night. Put this aside for my Saturday night wear. So that's what I got for you guys. Right now, those are just a couple of the fragrances I'm looking forward to putting in the rotation for the fall. But as the weather cools off slightly, we're not in the 90s every single day anymore. These are some of the fragrances I look forward to playing with and having some fun with, and look forward to hearing about any of your fall fragrance suggestions. Please feel free to drop your ideas in my comments. Look forward to hearing any feedback from you. If you are a fan of scent related content, fragrance reviews, dupes, inspos, and the like, please feel free to click that like button and the bell, join the gang, and look forward to having you. And on that, you guys have a great day. Thank you.